Alright, so you want to buy a new smartphone. You go to the website of the smartphone you want, but find yourself confused. What do all those words mean? And do they matter, or are they just fancy marketing terms? In this short video, I'll tell you what features you should look for when buying a smartphone and clear up some misconceptions you may have about these mobile devices. I want to make this information most valuable to you, so I'll try not to go over things that you already know. So what makes a good smartphone? There are 5 aspects which I feel are most important, which are the screen, the battery, the software, the performance, and the camera. Let's break down each of these. The screen is the part of the phone where you interact with the most. Therefore, it is important that you know some basic things about screen quality. One thing you should pay attention to is the brightness, because a smartphone that doesn't get bright will not be visible in the sun. You should also pay attention to things such as color accuracy and resolution. This stuff is pretty standard, but what you might not know about are high refresh rate screens. Your screen is constantly updating as you scroll or watch content, traditionally at 60 frames per second or 60 Hz. High refresh rate screens are emerging in smartphones, which allows the screen to update faster. This may influence your buying decision because a smartphone with a 90 Hz or even 120 Hz screen will feel a lot smoother. From my personal experience, the difference between a 60 Hz and a 90 Hz screen is very noticeable. Now there are 2 aspects you should care about when looking at battery. The first one is battery capacity. This is pretty self-explanatory, with a higher capacity resulting in a longer battery life. The next, more underrated feature is charging speed. With newer phones that can take as much wattage as laptops, some phones can last a day after charging for only 15 minutes. Software is a matter of preference, so I will not say too much on the subject. iOS on iPhones is very polished and ideal for people who want minimalism. If you want to go crazy on customization though, Android phones will be better suited to you. However, I will say that if you use a lot of Apple products and services, iOS will work better for you. Performance is another big part of a phone, but perhaps it is not as significant as it was before. Top-end chips from Android or iOS all perform great. Last but definitely not least are the cameras. A big misconception is that more megapixels equals a better camera system. This is definitely not true. More megapixels really just means more details some of the time. It's really easy to quantify a camera by the number of megapixels it has, but in reality, things like color accuracy, dynamic range, and post-processing matter a lot more. If you are a person who takes a lot of videos, video quality should also be taken into consideration. It would be wise to watch tech reviews in order to get the full story on a phone's camera performance. Now, something else I found people are confused about is, why do phones these days have so many cameras? Before I can explain, you need to know that when you pinch to zoom in a phone with one camera, you are not optically zooming, but just cropping in digitally. This means if you zoom in a lot, the photo will quickly become grainy. However, with multiple cameras, the smartphone can switch to a dedicated zoom camera that retains more details. Other cameras have different perspectives to capture different scenes or just to have fun. For example, one camera might be used for ultra-wide photos that capture more in the frame. Or there could be cameras specific to macro photography or depth sensing. However, it's important to note that companies will sometimes toss in bad cameras just to say they have a 4-camera setup. At the end of the day, every smartphone camera system has its strengths and its weaknesses, but there will always be one suited to your needs. Alright, I hope you learned something and found this helpful. I realize I didn't cover everything such as sound quality and build materials, but hopefully you have a general sense of what to look for when choosing a smartphone. Thank you for watching.